Hello everybody, welcome back to FM24 with the European Journeyman Save, and we're about to start our first full season with AS Monaco. We snuck into the Champions League by winning the Europa League in the last episode. Go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. What a win it was. But we have had a massive transfer window. 13 players out for money and 13 players in. Let's go and check it out. Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the managers. No, welcome back fellow managers is what I'm trying to say. And we are still at Monaco and we have our first game of the season against AJ Auxerre in the league, followed by the Super Cup against PSG, who won the Champions League. So PSG clearly are a very, very good team in this universe. They've won the Champions League and the league quite a canter last season in France. But we have a hell of a lot of transfers to get through. So it's likely only going to be a transfer review and then the first game of the season, because no one really cares about the Super Cup anyway, do they? Obviously, what we need to do is try and topple PSG in this stadium. What is wrong with me today? In this save, we need to topple PSG so we can unlock the next echelon of leagues above us, which I think is Germany, Italy and England, if I remember rightly. But yeah, we'll see. This Journeyman Save ends when we win the Champions League, by the way. A few comments asking what's the point of this save. It literally is to go from nothing, where we had nothing, no qualifications, no history, nothing, no reputation, took over Nagy Kaniza in the Hungarian second division, to go and win the Champions League with whichever club allows us to have that opportunity. It might be Monaco, who knows. Let's go and check into the transfers. First, we'll look at the outs. So only focusing on those players that have sort of a reputation to warrant talking about or were bringing money into the club. The first one is Aaron Malouda. The striker leaves to join RC Lens. He's gone there to be a squad player. £3.3 million we got for him. I don't think he ever featured for me since I took over in the last sort of 2 months of the season, so really not too worried about him going. Next up, backup goalkeeper Roberto Vanacore has joined Montpellier to be their first choice goalkeeper, so it's a bit of a step up for him. £7 million we got for him. He's moved there, and he's a good keeper. It's just unlucky for him that our key player and best player at the club is also a goalkeeper in Yoris Mallet, so he was never going to be our first choice. So we've sold Roberto Vanacore, and hopefully he can use it to grow his career a bit more. He's only 26 and he's a good keeper, so hopefully it doesn't come back to haunt us and he does something miraculous when we play in Montpellier, but you know, we've let him go to new pastures. For £14.75 million, we've sold Martin Adelaine to Al Arabiya. This is one I think I touched on in the last episode, just to say when we're having some pre-arranged transfers before the window opened. He has moved on, 31 years old. He was on over £100,000 at us. He's gone to £85,000 a week in Saudi, and yeah, he was never ever going to be near our first team, to be honest. He looks quite good, but when you deep dive into his attributes, they're a bit sort of jack of all tradey, not really focusing too much on one thing. So I was happy to cash in on a 31-year-old that I couldn't see playing for us. So yeah, Martin Adelaine has gone to pick up a healthy end-of-career paycheck in Saudi. And then we get into the transfers that weren't as pre-arranged and has happened once the transfer window opened. First off, Jeremy Atangana, who was a relatively high prospect player, 19 years old, but we're short-term in the Journeyman, so it's sort of like, I don't think we're ever going to give him, enough football to allow him to improve those technicals to a level that we need them to, and two, we want as much money as possible. So for £115,000, we sold him off to Toulouse to see if they can do something with his potential. He has got potential. It's just, I don't think it's going to fulfill those technicals to a point where he would be challenging for a short-term place in a League Title challenging team, which is what we want to be. So we say goodbye to Jeremy. Next up, sort of in the same boat, is Trésor Larde, although he's got a lot less potential and a lot worse attributes from the starting point. He has been sold to Strasbourg. He's gone there again to see what they can do with him. They paid £400,000 for this guy, which I found very strange, but as soon as the offer came in, we accepted it. He's got a good bit of value at 4.1 to 7.2 million for them, but given, according to our coaches and staff, he's not got a great deal of potential and there's not much to work with there already. I'm not sure he's ever going to be very good. So we very quickly accepted the offer for Tresorlade, 400k, he's gone. And then we get into the players that were in the first team squad that we've sold off as well. £1.1 million we've sold Ruben Coronel out to Westerlo over in Belgium. I want to say Westerlo are. I might be wrong with that. Let's just quickly check. KVC Westerlo are in Belgium. I shouldn't ever doubt myself. A young player, not too far off his full potential according to our staff, 23 years old, 1.1 million. They may have picked up a bit of a bargain, but again, never really good enough to be in a first team or first team squad position for a team that wants the challenge in Ligue 1. So we have sold him for £1.1 million, and I don't think he's going to be missed. £1.4 million, we sold Laurent Gautier. He has moved to Strasbourg. Again, someone they may think they've got a bit of a bargain for, but I don't think would ever evolve into a player that would really warrant a first team position, given how strong our left wing is already with Abdullah. And the fact that we've strengthened on left wing again, I don't think he was ever going to really make it. So we weren't too upset letting him go. He does have pretty good pace, pretty good crossing, pretty good dribbling, and pretty good technique, which is quite hard to find in new gen wingers. But I don't think he would be good enough to play in our first team. Next up, the biggest pain in my arse for the whole of the summer. David Luca has left. Again, another one I think we were talking about pre-arranged, but it has gone through. He's gone back to Palmeiras in Brazil. 3.2 million we sold him for. Very good physicals. Pretty decent technicals for what we want him to do as an attacking fullback, but just an absolute pain in the arse. Would not stop moaning about everything. So we've let him go for 3.2 million. We've bought in quite a lot of money to the club and reinvested that money in new signings. So yeah, David Luca is gone. He played his last game for the club at right wing as a 34-year-old right winger in a Europa League final. But Wilfried Singo has left the club. £3.7 million. He's moved to Saudi Arabia. He is a absolute legend of the club. The fans were a little bit distraught to see him go, but we were bringing in as much money as physically possible, and one of those to be sacrificed for that money is Wilfried Singo, 34 years old, absolute legend of Monaco, 280 appearances, scored 13 goals for the club as well. A really, really good player. If you've never had him in Football Manager, I really suggest trying to buy him early on in the game, because he is just phenomenal at right back. He is really, really good. And yeah, I mean, it was with a bit of a heavy heart, but I can't have sentiment in a journeyman save. You just got to move people on and get as much money for them as possible. 3.7 million, I was pretty happy with that. Similar to the next two players we're going to go through as well. Fiorentine Luis actually proved himself to be pretty useful in midfield for us towards the end of the season. But we got £7.5 million from him from Al Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. He's 35. His attributes were decreasing. He's really good mentally, but physically and technical was starting to decrease a little bit. So we've let him go, and he is getting one big final payout in Saudi Arabia as well. And again, it's 7.5 million for 35-year-old central midfielder. I don't think you can really sniff at that. Very good player, really did well for us at the end of last season. But time to move on and refresh the midfield with some younger legs. Which is the same reason we sold Samuel Ritchie as well. Really good, but he's moved to Al Hilal for £13.25 million, which again, for a 33-year-old whose attributes are diminishing, isn't necessarily a bad thing. This is probably the one signing where I'm like, or the one sale where I'm like, we probably could have got one more season out of him and he done a good job. But given that it took about £100,000 a week off our wage bill and we got £13.25 million in, it sort of made sense to let him go. But the Italian international is now earning a whopping £575,000 a week in Saudi Arabia. So I'm sure he'll be enjoying that for the next 2 years of his contract. And then we get into the big money. For £24 million, we have sold Pedro Borges to VfL Wolfsburg. He is a very good right back and left back when you take his attributes at face value, but then when you go in deeper, doesn't suit how we want to play. He's quick at 15, he's got good acceleration at 14, but crossing 5 and dribbling 8 is not what we need from our fullbacks. They need to be a little bit better than that, or you need to have standout attributes that improve you in a different way. So you need your technique to be above 15. You need decisions, anticipation, concentration. Those sort of attributes need to be much, much higher to make up for your lack of crossing and dribbling ability if you're playing fullback in one of my teams. Don't come back at me in the comment section when you look at who I've signed at left back and realise that they can't cross or dribble either. It'll be fine. But anyway, a very good player. But again, I thought for 24 million, yes, he's worth 40 to 47 now. But for 24 million, someone that isn't getting any better, I think it sort of makes sense. We cashed in. He was a good tall fullback, but we've got better options. And finally, we've sold Beraldo for £45 million. He has also gone to Saudi Arabia for Al Hilal, 31 years old. They put in a bid, I rejected it. He moaned that he wanted a huge wage increase. I said no. We agreed a fee and said if Al Hilal pay 50 million, they can have him. They paid 45, so it was close enough. I accepted the deal. It did leave us a little bit short of centre-back, so we have gone out and bought another centre-back in. But yeah, he was good. But again, when you deep dive into the actual attributes here, he's got heading 12, passing 12, tackling 13, marking 13. There's nothing standout about that. It's very sort of top of league on average numbers. There's no like 16s or 17s in there at all. Positioning 16 is good, but again, we've reinvested that 45 million into what I think is better, younger players. So I feel like we have made Monaco a better team. We are lacking in central midfield, but we'll talk about that. But that is the outs. Now the fun bit. Let's go and see where we spent the money. So going in date order is what we're going to do for this one. The first signing we made was Alejandro Sanabria, the Argentinian 21-year-old wonder kid, who is really, really good. Yes, £8.5 million we played River Plate for him, now worth up to £22 million, only on £12,000 a week, but comes with crossing and dribbling 17, 16, technique 17, work rate 16, stamina 16, fitness 17, agility 18, pace can be a bit better at 13, acceleration 14, but will do what we want him to do off this right-hand side. Left-footed, so we'd like to cut in as well. Finishing's a little bit poor, but we're sort of hoping that we can train that up and get him working a bit better. But for a 21-year-old looking that good already, I think we've bought an absolute blinder for AS Monaco. Expect him to be playing for PSG once we leave Monaco. I expect this is the sort of player that PSG would come and pay a big, hefty fee for off Monaco to make sure that they have the best players in France. But for now, he is our player, and I'm very excited to see what he can do. For £26 million, we bought in Jonathan Rousseau. Remember him? Really tall left winger from Trabzonspor. He was absolutely brilliant, wanted to leave the club, had a £26 million release fee for clubs in the Champions League. Thank you very much, winning the Europa League. Crossing 17, dribbling 15, passing 14, technique 15, work rate 14, decisions 14. Acceleration and pace could be a bit better, but jumping reach is great, agility is great, stamina, strength, 6'4", right-footed, so both our wingers now suit what we want to do, coming in off the opposite flanks. Has got a little bit of an injury at the moment, but I think is a superb signing for this AS Monaco team. And again, we're bringing the people along that play well with us at previous clubs. We're trying to bring them in as we go up the ladder as well. So Jonathan Rousseau joins. He never quite hit the heights at Trabzonspor after we left. A 7.74 with 7 goals in 11 games when we left. The 1 year we weren't there, 15 goals in 29, 7.43. Still not too bad for an AI-controlled team. And they made £16 million profit. So a very, very good signing. Very happy to have him in. That's 2 new wingers. Now we've got all the people that signed in the summer, and there's a lot of free transfers. We'll quickly touch on this guy. Diogo Silva joined the club. It was pre-arranged before I got to the club for £3 million. I wasn't aware that they had pre-arranged this, but they had. So he's in, and he's gone straight back out on loan to Eyüpspor out in Turkey. But looks like he's got some good potential. Could develop into a very good player in holding midfield, which is a position we utilise. But I couldn't guarantee him first-team football. So he was in, and then he's straight back out on loan. Another pre-arranged transfer that the previous manager had sorted out, or the director of football had sorted out before we got here, was Uros Sremčević. Let's go Sremčević. A free transfer. And on the face of it, looks really, really good. He does look really, really good. But I hadn't planned for us having another striker who's on 125 grand a week and is good. I guess we've now got 2 really good options up front because I'm not dropping Traore. And yeah, we're going to have to make it work. So we've got 2 good strikers in a system that only has 1 striker, but that's not necessarily a bad thing if we can keep the rotation going and keep them both pretty happy. He's tall, he's got good jumping reach, he's agile, he's quick, his finishing is good, his composure is good, his off the ball is good. Everything about him says he'll be a wild success. It's just unlucky for him that he's the 2nd best striker at the club. And then everyone from here on in, I have signed. These are players that I've gone out and found. We found a right winger on a free transfer from Man United called Charlie Hont. Hont is an amazing surname that I really like. It makes me want to shout Hont like that as if I'm honking a horn. But we're probably not going to see much of him this year because we have accepted a loan offer from Aberdeen and St Johnstone for him to go and get a bit more first team football. But yeah, good agility, balance and fitness as the winger. Great dribbling, crossing and technique. They're the 3 I look for. If you not noticed, they're the 3 I look for in wide players, whether they're going to be inside forwards or absolute wingers. That's what I look for because they're so hard to find good crossing, dribbling and technique in new gen players that once you do find them, it's worth taking a punt on them as well. So a free transfer worth up to £8 million. Probably won't see too much of him this year because it looks like he's going to move to Aberdeen, I think. Next up on the free transfer list, Nuno Leite, a holding midfielder that joins Portuguese. He joins from Lazio on a free transfer. Not the best. 26 years old. Needs to improve. Will probably be getting enough first team football to allow him to improve. I do like his versatility that he can also play at centre back and right back and attacking midfield if needed. But overall, pretty decent, 2-footed, good balance, can't jump, so he's not going to win too many headers. But all round sort of physical is fine, mental is fine, technical does need a bit of work. I sort of feel like this is the player that we bring in, and then as we get further into the transfer window and towards deadline day, we buy someone better because I think there'll be players out there that get transfer listed and we can pick up for a little bit cheaper. But yeah, Nuno Leite's in. I like his versatility. He's 26. We're probably paying him a little bit too much, but not too bad. Not too bad. This one, I wasn't too sure what I was thinking. Sankat Kalisanala is in. Well, I do know what I was thinking. It's a right winger that's got good, decent crossing, very good dribbling and is very, very fast. We've got him in on a free from Pendix Sport. We've sent him on loan to RC Lon, so hopefully he can get some first team football there. Technique is good, work rate is good, dribbling is good, crossing is fine, acceleration is very good, agility is very good. I think agility is quite a strong attribute this year for wingers. Pace is good, stamina is good as well, so definitely has the base there to be a very, very good winger in the future. But you're not going to see him this year because he's going to play for Len. So yeah. Good luck, Cancat. We said we needed to upgrade our fullback, so we've gone for Michael Ajao, a free transfer from AZ Alkmaar, who is now worth up to £98 million. Ludicrous. He can cross, which is great. That's what we want our wingers to do. Crossing 10. It's not amazing, but he can do it. But marking, passing, tackling, all looking good. Those mentals for a 21-year-old are insane. Bravery, concentration, decisions, work rate, all above 16. And he's got stamina, he's got balance, he's agile, he's kind of quick. He's going to be a really good player. He's 21 and he looks like that already, and we've got him on a free transfer. He'll be another one that when we leave Monaco, PSG will snap him up. Just you wait. And the final free transfer we bought in was Hubert Vieira, who is French, and we signed him from Newcastle when his contract expired. A striker, because I didn't realise we already had the agreed deal for the Serbian guy. But yeah, he brings very good pace and acceleration. His agility is very good. Off the ball 14, finishing 16, composure 14. He should get a lot of goals. 2-footed, can play on the right wing as well. Will be sitting behind Emmanuel Traore, and now will be sitting behind Uros Sremčević. I can't remember. We're going to have to give him a nickname. His name's Uros Sremčević. Give me a nickname down below. But yeah, going to be really good, isn't he? He looks very good. Capped by France under 21s, 23 years old now. He'll grow into something pretty useful, I'm sure. But Hubert Vieira is in the door, as unfortunately for him, our now third choice backup striker. Okay, I've signed someone else that we've worked with before. Cyprian Stanescu joins for £9.25 million from Malmo. He's really, really quick. He's really, really good mentally. Definitely can't dribble or cross a ball for someone that we paid £9.25 million for, but he will probably be our starting left-back for most of the season. Technique is good, marking's good, passing's okay, tackling's 12, first touch 12, crossing 11, dribbling 9, but anticipation, concentration, decisions, positioning, work rate, leadership, really good mentally, physically as well, really quick, good balance, good agility, good stamina, good pace. All left foot, so we'll love bombing up that left-hand side for an overlap. He signs from Malmo for his release fee of £9.25 million, which was a release fee for teams in the Champions League. Thank you, Europa League backdoor. But yeah, looking forward to see what he can do with us at left-back. And on the other side, we needed a proper right-back, so we've brought in Nicolo Motolero, and I'm going to argue this is probably the bargain signing of the whole summer. For £11 million and only £50,000 a week, we've brought in a physical monster of a right back. Acceleration, agility, balance and strength all 16, fitness 15, pace and stamina 14 and jumping reach 13. He's 6'2" and he can dribble, he can cross, he can tackle, he's got good technique, good marking, good heading. Mentals are really good as well. He looks very, very useful at right back. Like very, very useful at right back. 21 years old as well, so room to grow. I think Inter have had a bit of a stinker letting him go for £11 million. He will be our starting right back for the season, and that really does. We've ticked off the positions we need to strengthen, which was fullback and wingers. That's where we definitely needed to strengthen, and we've done that. And then we've gone and bought a centre-back because Beraldo left. And of course, I went and bought Guy Michaud from Trabzonspor, someone that I've worked with before. He's really good. He was just phenomenal for us. £22 million, so we got him for basically half of the money that we bought in to sell Beraldo. Really, really good. Like, again, the main season he had with us, 3 goals, 7 assists and 32 appearances, 7.42 average rating. He actually got a 7.24 being managed by the AI as well. So clearly a very, very good player. A £22 million profit for Trabzonspor after we signed him on a free transfer over there. It does lack a little bit technical, but sort of marking, tackling and technique make up for the poorer side of it. Will be centre-back for us as well. Really good concentration and decision-making. Anticipation's really good. Positioning's really good. Heading's a little bit poor, but physically is an absolute monster. And that is all of our transfer business, not including the loan people that I'm not going to show you because there's no point in bringing those up. But yes, we have been busy boys. £75 million in, £45.5 million out, and then we've got a little bit extra because of the Rousseau and Sanabria deals come through on last year's bills, but so do quite a lot of the outs as well. So we actually sold these 3 people that are behind my head, 10.3 million, call that 25, that'll be, well, just call that 10, call that 25. That's 35 million in last season, and 26 plus 8, I can't do that maths very quickly, 34? Yeah, 34.5 million. So they sort of even each other out, which means we have made a huge profit of £30 million for Monaco in the summer, which is great. Leaves our squad looking like this. We are a little bit light in holding midfield, but we do have some flexibility in players. People like Marcelo Bien's back from injury that he had last year. He'll be getting a lot of game time, more than likely at holding midfield, not at centre-back. Nuno Liete we've looked at as well. He can be in there. Daniel Freitas will be playing a little bit more at holding midfield potentially, or centre-back, and we'll push potentially Guy Michaud into holding midfield. He did that for me a couple of times at Trabzonspor. But yeah, the squad is looking smaller. It's looking better balanced. We've got some good options on the wings. We've got lots of options all around, really. Might be looking for another goalkeeper, but Loic Dumont is really useful to keep around because he's homegrown. So yeah, he probably won't be going anywhere. And also we still have Jean-Claire Todibo. I tried to sell him, nobody really wanted him, and then I thought he'll be really good to keep around because he basically won us the Europa League. So Jean-Claire Todibo is still here. That is the squad. That is the transfers. Let's get into the first game against AJ Auxerre. And due to some people not having full pre-seasons or coming back from injuries like Akamatch and Traore, Todibo, Michaud and Rousseau, we're not going to even risk them with their slight knocks against Auxerre. This is how we line up. Malay in goal, Mortellaro, Frietas, Efa Sarikari and Stanescu at the back. Bayens and Van Hoek in the middle. Sanabria on the right. Gordon in behind Sremčevčić, who's going to start today because of Traore's lack of fitness. And Abdallah on the left. But it does give us strength in depth on our bench as well, which is a good thing. We did struggle a little bit with that towards the back end of last year. And I was very concerned when Liverpool were bringing on their subs and then we looked at our bench and we didn't really have anything that could compete with it. But I do sort of feel like we're in a good position this year to have a go at challenging PSG. Now, the games against PSG are going to be huge in the league. That is what's probably going to determine how much they win the league by. I'm pretty set in the fact that they're going to win the league. I don't think we're going to topple them in one season. I think it's going to take some work here. As Mortellaro gets his first touch that we see as a Monaco player. Here's Van Hoek up to Abdallah into Godin. Godin ball through Serovic. Oh, he's missed the target. And he definitely needs a nickname because I cannot say that name quick. Sremčevčić. I mean, I might just call him something like Bob. Van Hoek shoots. Oh, what a goal from Yannick Van Hoek. He's one of the players that has to step up this year now that we've got rid of the two central midfielders that we had last year in Richie and Luis. But yeah, he is stepping up. First game of the season, he's scored an absolute belter of a goal. Godin headed it in on the edge of the area, got it onto that right foot, curls it round his own striker, curls it round Bob, actually, and a lovely finish to put us 1-0 up. 15 minutes gone then, we are in complete control of this game. 9 shots to none, 4 on target to none. We are playing incredibly well, and everyone seems to be settling in. Sanabria on the right, 6.9, the striker. Bob, 6.8. Stanescu, 6.7. Everyone seems to be settling in quite well, all the new signings, which is good. I mean, we have kept arguably a core that was in the, maybe not starters last year, but were in the squad last year. The 2 centre-backs, the 2 central midfielders, the attacking midfielder Godin on the ball now. In fact, the left winger was here as well last year. So the core through the middle, and obviously the goalkeeper was here. It's a big header from Bob. It goes over. The core of the team is actually mainly people that were at Monaco last year. 4, 5, 6 players, which is really good, and the left winger, which is 7. So, and there he is. Ball to him. Oh, his header goes over the bar. Kadir, I think, had that one covered. But yeah, this is domination from Monaco. So Mortellaro with a throw and into Godin. We're focusing our play down that right pretty well. This is Sanabria put it in. It's cleared away. You can see that Auxerre have got no outballs, really. Van Hoek, ball through. Abdallah's in. Great tackle from Pedro. He does well as Badash just boots it up the line, and Auxerre playing those long balls that we're just clearing up nicely. Here is Bayens into the goal scorer Van Hoek. Van Hoek to Godin. Godin out to Sanabria. Big overlapping run, but he goes to Stanescu. Heads it into Abdallah. His shot goes past the post, and that should see us through to half-time. But yeah, everybody playing really well. Absolute domination in this game. Lots of shots on target. Keep it going. Absolutely no reason to be negative at all in this game. Auxerre have had 1 shot. It was on target, so Malay did save it in goal. But now we have a corner. Here is Sanabria. Sanabria with it in. It goes towards Abdallah with a header. Paulo Abdallah scores a goal. He has got competition for places this year with Rousseau joining. But yeah, he starts his season off very well with a great header. He is a tall winger. So sometimes the AI struggles to mark the wingers, like if they're really tall. And we actually have Abdallah and we have Rousseau coming in as well. Both are tall. Godin's there as well for a header. Walid Godin gets it. It's 3-0 to Monaco. Auxerre are crumbling here in the Principality. And it's a shame to see that the stadium isn't full for our first home game of the season. But AS Monaco absolutely flying at the moment. And it does put us top of the league. PSG, I think, have done it by 2 goals. We've now got a +3 goal difference. So if we can have that sort of mental blow into PSG to be like, hey, we're here and we are going to be top of the league after the first few games of the season. That is ideal. Abdallah running down the left-hand side, cuts it back to Stanescu. Stanescu into the box, cuts it back. Sanabria! Oh, Non's debut nearly got a goal. Throw in to be taken by Stanescu on the left, into Godin. Back to Stanescu, in it goes to Abdallah. Van Hwek into Godin, who shoots, curls it over the goalkeeper. He's got his second of the game. It's 4-0 to Monaco. And that is just before the hour mark. We are absolutely running riot here in our home ground of Stade Louis II. And Van Hwek involved again, Stanescu involved. Godin, lovely curling effort. You've got to say Kadir should probably do better. But 4-0, we've had 27 shots to AJ Auxerre's 1. They have not turned up for this game at all, as they do have the ball at the moment. Back to Pedro. Pedro into Gabzi. Gabzi moves it on. They're starting to throw a few more men forward as Milo breaks through the offside trap. We get a good block on it, and Abdallah can clear that one away. Godin can't pick it up. And as we just tick into the 60th minute in a minute, Vieira's there. Square ball, and Michaelis has missed an absolute sitter. So we're just going to make a couple of substitutions. Vieira's going to come on the right wing. Traore's going to come on up front. The physios were saying he can play around about half an hour, 45 minutes. So we're going to give him half an hour. Godin in there with a perfect 10 in attacking midfield is lovely to see. And with 15 minutes to go, it's a new signing coming on in Ajo. Lietti's going to come on as well in holding midfield. And we brought Reingold on at left back to replace Stanescu. Stanescu and Mortelleni at the fullback positions. Great debut for them. It looks like we're going to come away with a 4-0 win and a clean sheet. 30 shots to 4, 12 on target to 1. It has been a demolition job from Monaco to start this season, and it looks like we're going to be starting it going top of Ligue 1 as well, which is absolutely wonderful, and that is full time. What a performance from the boys. A great start to the season, that. Well done, great win, lovely stuff. Right. Let's just keep this up for the rest of the season and we will easily win La Liga. La Liga? We won't win La Liga. We're not in Spain. We'll win Liga. So a very solid start to the season. 4-0 we beat AJ Auxerre, which is absolutely superb. If we have a look at the season preview, we are predicted to finish 3rd this year. PSG obviously massive favourites to win the league. Then Nantes, then us, Lille, Marseille and Nice, making up the top 6. AJ Auxerre, just to let you know, were predicted to finish 9th, so mid-table, and we've absolutely demolished them 4-0. So we could be on for a decent season at least. I still do think PSG are going to win the league, but it's a great start to start like that. We've got some other new signings to integrate into the team as well, which is good. We are going to play through the season a little bit, maybe come back for this game away at PSG. We actually have Lyon at home and then PSG. So yeah, we'll come back in October after an international break, and we'll be taking on Lyon at home and PSG away. Actually, that's a tough run. Lyon, PSG and Nantes in a triple threat October is quite an episode to do. So we'll do that, the triple threat October. We'll do all 3 games in the next episode. I look forward to seeing you there. If you're enjoying the series, please do leave a like and leave a comment. It's the best way to get this out into the algorithm, get more people into the channel, and very excited for FM25 as well. There should be some news coming soon around what the introduction of women's football is going to do, and then other things coming along the roadmap. If you want to pre-order FM25, there is a link in the description where if you click the link, you'll get 15% off at Games Planet, and I'll get a little kickback as well, being an affiliate member with them. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.